Can we get unmuted, please, in the chat? All right, can you hear us, Sheila?
I can hear you.
Awesome. All right, the time is 7 p.m. and I will call this meeting to order. May we have roll call, please?
Mayor Reichel,
Here?
Pro Tem Hanrahan,
Here.
Trustee Brittenell,
Here.
Trustee Klassen,
Here.
Trustee Engelhardt,
Here.
Trustee Sanchez,
Here.
Trustee Seifert.
Here.
All right, may we rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, be seated. All right, the first item on tonight's agenda is public comments. Persons desiring to make a public comment on items not on the agenda, please activate the raised hand function in the meeting program. Or Sheila, any phone calls or emails in regards to non-agenda items?
No, sir, I have not heard from anyone.
Okay.
I do not show any raised hands, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Do we have anybody signed in this evening?
Mr. Mike Stike would
Mike
like
Stike?
to
All right.
address the board.
So I'd like
Mike,
to comment
come on up.
after the
Nope.
program.
We
I'd like
only,
to hear the whole program first and then make my comments.
so we do public comments at the beginning. So
Okay.
if you want to make a public comment, then now's the time. If you want to listen to the meeting and then comment at the next meeting, we can do that also.
I can do that.
Would you like to speak now?
I do.
Okay, come on up. State your name and address for the record, and you'll have your 3 minutes, sir.
Wow, 3 minutes.
Yes.
My name is Mike Stike. I live at Valley and Grand. Couple things. Why is the P&Z and BOT meetings not posted on the electronic scoreboard until the day of? That should go up tomorrow morning for the next meeting here. Somebody's not doing their job right. Anybody agree? No comments. The community park that's been posted for months and months. Soccer, months, Easter, just went up there. I think it should go up the day after the meeting so we know. I think people trying to keep it secret from the citizens about what's going on here. You got to let citizens know about these meetings. Right? If you keep it secret, it's bad government. Okay. Jim Mann, he's the manager, right? Is that you?
That would be me.
I tried to introduce myself to you 3 different times, on 3 separate occasions. 3 separate occasions, you've turned your back on me and walked away. That's not how we do things in the small town. That may be big city where you're from. That may be how you do it there. It's not good here in the small town. The fact that you want Garfield County to take money away from the libraries, that is bad. That is bad, bad, bad. I think we should take half of your pay and give it to RAFTA. And the fact that you're getting free apartment up here, I think you should take the money that you should be spending there and give that to RAFTA too. What kind of manager are you? Not a good one, I think. I think you should take your big city attitude and go. Chief, I want to tell you, I think traffic's getting a little better. Still a bunch of people speeding, tailgating, stop sign running. Those kids on those little electric bikes, they're ripping up and down Grand Avenue. So, anyways, thank you. That's all I got to say.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to see the next P&Z meeting posted tomorrow. I doubt if that'll happen, but.
All right, any other members of the public signed up? No? Okay. All right. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. It contains, first, the minutes of the February 9th, 2026 Board of Trustees meeting. Item number 2 is resolution number 8, series 2026, a resolution of the Board of Trustees supporting the grant application for a grant from the Garfield County Federal Mineral Lease District in the Senior Housing Phase 2 remodel project, partnering with Garfield County Housing Authority for the town of Silt, Colorado. Item 3 is resolution number 9, series 2026, a resolution proclaiming April as National Donate Life Month within the town of Silt, Garfield County, state of Colorado. Item 4 is resolution number 10, series 2026, a resolution of the Board of Trustees awarding the bid for the Grand Avenue Improvements Phase 2 project to Martinez Western in the amount of $1,243,119,045. Item 5, resolution number 11, series 2026, a resolution supporting the grant application for a Garfield County Federal Mineral Lease District mini grant in the amount of $30,000 for a total project cost of $38,495 in order to offset the cost associated with installing speed tables and a purchase of a speed trailer. And resolution number 12, series 2026, a resolution supporting the grant application for a Garfield County Federal Mineral Lease District grant in the amount of $449,753 for a total project cost of $642,505 in order to offset the cost associated with the installation of the community park splash pad. Would anyone like to discuss any of those separately?
I have a question on number 6. I've been asked, how big is this splash pad? How big is this room? I don't know. So they asked me, I said, I have no idea.
I think it's about, if I remember correctly, it's like in a pad area of about 1,500 square feet.
Okay, I had a couple of people ask me, and I didn't know what to tell them, so.
And it's directly south of where the playground structure will be. It's not as large as the playground structure.
South of the, oh, okay. All right, that was my question.
Okay.
And I had a quick question. I mean, I like the speed tables, but I noticed they're just in the Painted Pastures neighborhood, and I'm assuming that's where most of the violations are in terms of speeding.
The issue is there's no stop signs. There's no additional stop from Overo all the way to, I think it's 16th. And so the thought was that we could put the speed tables in and reduce traffic speeds without having to put another stop sign up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, no, you're right. I mean, there is that huge stretch. I was
Yes.
just wondering why they were both in
And
Painted
that's
Pastures.
just,
And that's just where,
yes.
okay.
On that and your concerns, and Mike's concerns about speed, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I worked. I did my own traffic survey, about 50 vehicles each day from roughly 7 to 8 or 7:30 to 8:30. I'll tell you the average speed of the 50 vehicles, 22.94 miles an hour. One vehicle was 41, got pulled over, got cited. They live in Roan area. Another vehicle was 33, got pulled over, lives in Sorrel. So just following up on your speed issues and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
we'll continue. We'll probably do more enhanced enforcement in the area, especially as spring comes around. We'll have new officers graduating the academy, so obviously that's one of the big things in law enforcement is learning how to do traffic stops, so.
Well, thank you.
focus on
I
that.
appreciate that. And just for the record, I'm only out there walking the dog for like a half an hour in the evening. So I'm not there all day like you were. So, but thank you.
And then on number 5, I have a question. I know Joe's not here, but do we have a place we spend this money on this trailer where it can be kept out of the weather so it doesn't go to crap like the other one, or covered or something, so it isn't sitting outside?
At this point, we do not have covered storage for it.
I'd assume most of the time it's going to be out.
Outside.
Be out,
Side of the
yeah.
street anyway. I
No, I know,
would
but-
assume it's built for being in the weather.
It
Yeah.
makes sense.
I think the other one was just used for so many years and neglected with maintenance. were the issues we had with that one. I had a question, not really a question, but more of a comment on the bid to Martinez Western. We had two bids within $50,000 of each other. One thing, we don't have the actual contract in this document, and I would like to see in that contract if we have penalties for not completing the project by a certain date. I think we've had issues here with contractors where we're not putting the pressure on them to get things done in a timely fashion, and it's, you know, we become the project we can squeeze in when we have time. So before awarding a contract to them, unless it must be done tonight, I would like to see what the contract actually states with the company.
I could go along with that, yeah.
You know I'm an advocate of this. We're singing the same song here. I'm tired of coming up second or third or some number other than first on everybody's project agenda with these vendors. It's got to stop.
Yeah.
And there should be, the contract should specify a monetary cost of being late, full stop. And they can add what's called a force majeure line item if they need to. In other words, if it's things beyond their control,
Yeah.
then that's considered a.
Right, we get rain for 6 weeks,
Right.
delays the project, that's fine. But if they get a $4 million contract that seems like it's more important to run and go do than
100%.
finish our project.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's language we should have in all of our contracts going forward. I think we should have a discussion about it there's a dollar amount where we need to have that added to the contract. And this one just caught my eye because we're talking over $1 million on this project.
Yeah. And I would add a critique to Martinez Western. Their attention to detail is lacking. And just walk up and down 8th Street and look at how they repaired all the landscaping. It could be much better.
So I'd be in favor of removing that item from the consent agenda this evening and discussing it at the next one. And I'd like to have Joe here to maybe talk about the two companies. I mean, you're talking $1.2, $1.3 million, $50,000. It might be, maybe low bidder's not the one to go with.
The difference is about 250,000.
No.
We were at Martinez Western at 1.243 and Frontier at 1.295.
I'm looking.
Martinez is up on the previous page. At the
Oh,
very
I'm
left.
sorry. I'm looking at the other bids. Yes, you are correct.
Somebody's microphone is on.
Joe is on the call, and he was just waiting to be able to speak, I believe.
Okay.
I am here.
All right, Joe, would you like to, I guess, before we bump this to the next agenda item, fill us in a little more if you could?
In the contract, there is a 120 days where they have to get the project done. And then we are able to add cost to, or take cost away from them. So that is in the contract. And both companies have done a good job for the town. And it was very difficult not to have the same company that did phase 1. But, you know, they both did a good job for the town on the projects they have done.
Does Martinez Western actually pave, or are they just gonna subcontract out to another company anyway?
They'll subcontract the paving. Everything else they'll do in-house.
And how about Frontier? I assume Frontier Paving is not gonna sub out the paving, so are they going to sub out the dirt work, or would they do that portion of the project?
They would do that portion of the project.
So Frontier would do A to Z, where Martinez would subcontract portions of it.
Correct.
I mean, personally, I'd rather have the same contractor continue on the project. That's just me.
That's your decision. I mean, the engineer and I went over both contracts or both bids, and they both gave qualifying bids.
Okay. So I guess, Chris, you just said you would prefer to have the same contractor continue the project.
Well, because I feel they did a very good job, and comparing their work to Martinez's work, their work is it's just a better quality product.
quality.
So that's why I would rather have the person who did phase one do phase two.
Phase two.
Yes. And I understand it's not the lowest bid, but I always feel sometimes you shouldn't take the absolute lowest bid.
Yeah.
Even though I understand it's taxpayers' money. But
Yeah.
sometimes you get what you pay for.
I think there's also some value of having a company that's going to do all of the work themselves. So that way, if there are any issues with it, it's easier to go and have them take care of it. Versus if there's problems with the paving, you're talking to Wes Martinez, who then has to talk to whoever they
Yeah.
subcontracted to. You're just dealing with one vendor for
Of course, all the other ones don't do asphalt neither.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
mean, that's
there's
why.
there's only one or two companies can do asphalt and do it all, so. Sometimes
also,
sometimes you can't pick that.
Paving would be or subcontracting the concrete work, which Martinez would be doing that in-house.
So yeah, it's really whether we get somebody to do asphalt or concrete.
Correct.
And yeah, the 8th Street project, I don't have a problem with the concrete work. It was just the detail work that was lacking.
Lacking.
And we can pay closer attention to that.
I don't believe you can just reject the lowest bid.
Well, and I think knowing that there would still be work split out, I thought he said that Frontier was
Yeah,
doing
we
all
do
of
it
it.
all, yeah.
If they're still subcontracting out parts of it, I mean, the $50,000 would take care of something else in the town. I mean, that's more money than we're giving RAFTA. Per previous conversations.
Yeah. That's something the citizens have to look at for the next 40, 50,
Yeah,
60
I-
years.
I know, I'm just saying that when you're looking at it, it's.
I mean, it's $52,000 we'd save, so.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if we have to go to lowest bid, that's fine. I'm just saying that's how I feel.
I'm just comfortable hearing that there is the language in there about it has to be done in a certain period of time, otherwise there'd be penalties.
Yeah. I guess, so with Jim's comment, we have to take the lowest bid?
That's public bidding.
You know, I don't believe we have to take the lowest bid, but we have to have
You have to have a really good reason
justify it.
Yeah.
to not take the low bid. And I'm not sure that anything that's been stated can't be addressed.
I think to me, you mentioned concrete versus asphalt. I think the asphalt would be a more critical component in selecting a vendor who has a proven track record with that. Just knowing, street maintenance, repairs, I think concrete is something that can be addressed in the future. Whichever one of these vendors that, Joe, you might recommend has the best track record with asphalt, that's where I think I would launch from a point of comfortability of wanting to select them. I'm not sure if that's a valid enough reason to maybe go against the lowest bid, or maybe the lowest bid does have that. That's just what I'm thinking after hearing the discussion.
Whoever does it, there's only two asphalt companies anyhow, so everyone would have to sub it out. So,
And Frontier Paving does do very good asphalt. So does Lions Paving, and so does Grand River.
yeah.
And I'm not really sure who Martinez would be using. I know on 8th Street they did use Frontier Paving. I'm not sure if they're using that same subcontractor for this project.
Who did phase one?
Frontier Paving did phase one.
Would there not be a benefit to having the same vendor from continuity perspective of they're familiar with the site, they're familiar with the town's processes, et cetera, et cetera.
You know, that did cross my mind, but like I said, that both contractors have done a good job for Ms. Martinez. They did the roundabout and they did 8th Street. Frontier has done several projects for us, as in Home Avenue. I think they did the Home Avenue, they did the whole project, and most of their projects have been just paving.
I guess my larger concern is the premise of accepting the lowest bid by default. I think there's more risk than that, than we've surfaced here this evening. It's a larger discussion, but I think the idea that the lowest bid wins 90+% of the time, unless we have a singular compelling reason for it not to, that doesn't seem like a great model to me.
Yeah, but that's why they bid it. There's always gonna be a high and there's
Exactly,
always
and-
gonna be a low on every job, so.
Right, but if they know if we know now and they know that that's the criteria, we're gonna get what we paid for.
But we can say we're not taking this lowest bid because they performed poorly. And isn't that a good enough reason?
It sounds like
That
we
would
need
be a good
compelling
reason.
It's good enough reason if you have a specific.
Right.
It
But I
can't
mean,
be anecdotal.
sure.
And,
And in
what I
this
said
instance,
can be addressed easily.
I mean, hearing that, there's something in there about timeliness, I hear Joe's analysis and I'm fine with that. I hear what you're saying about the lowest bid.
I would think if you had a
But-
bid that's $400,000 under, you could say no because you assume they missed something
Yeah.
in the project.
Yeah.
That would come up
Pavement.
with the engineering reason.
Yeah, there'd be a reason there.
These are both close to engineering, yeah, I just,
And if it was a company that you did not know,
Yeah,
or you had other projects that you could look back on where they did not, bring a quality project, then you have another reason not to accept that low bid. But, as Martinez Western and Frontier, they have, in my opinion, they both do very good work.
yeah, they say that's $53,000, so.
Yeah, ultimately, we have to trust
yeah.
Public Works Director and our engineering team to make the best selection and present it to
Well, I
us.
trust Joe's gonna keep an eye on stuff.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Mayor, you may want to pull off the resolution number 9 because we
yes.
do have 2 representatives from
Okay.
the
So should
Donate
we-
Life Group, and take that as a separate
Is it a separate action item? Okay. So would someone like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda, removing resolution number 9, series 2026, to discuss as a agenda item?
I could make a motion to approve the consent agenda, but I guess including resolution number 8, resolution 10, resolution 11, and resolution 12.
And the minutes.
And what about the minutes?
Oh, and the minutes.
Okay.
Sorry, my fault.
All right.
I'll second that.
All right. Motion by trustee Clausen to approve the consent agenda, including the minutes of the February 9th, 2026 Board of Trustees meeting. Resolution number 8, series 2026. Resolution number 10, series 2026. Resolution 11, 2026. And resolution number 12, series 2026. Seconded by Mayor Pro Tem. All's in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. So we'll jump through conflicts of interest, agenda changes, throw resolution number 9 back on the, okay. Any conflicts of interest with agenda items tonight?
No, sir.
None for me. Agenda changes besides moving resolution number 9 as a information item?
In here.
Okay, all right. Then the next item on the agenda is resolution number 9, series 2026. A resolution proclaiming April as the National Donate Life Month within the town of Silt, Garfield County, state of Colorado. If you two would like to come up to the table and tell us a little bit about this. If you just want to state your name for the record.
My name's Jessie Rochelle,
My name is Anna Morgan Pilardi.
and we are the two full-time staff members of the Chris Klug Foundation. We're located in Aspen, but we work nationally to promote organ donation awareness. And we just wanted to say a quick thank you for doing this proclamation for April as National Donate Life Month. One of our big efforts is just bringing this conversation into daily life, and so any opportunity to get in front of a captive audience is greatly appreciated. My dad just celebrated 10 years as a heart transplant recipient in August.
And my brother-in-law received a heart transplant in October of 2025. So a big thank you for acknowledging Donate Life Month as April.
For those who may not know, how does one go about donating?
Absolutely. It's generally, in the past, the obvious answer is going to the DMV and signing up there. It's so much easier these days. You can do it with the Apple Health app. We have a page on our website that links directly to the National Registry, so you can do it online. If anybody has questions, we're always happy to answer. And there's ways to give above and beyond deceased donation. You can donate blood. You can sign up for the stem cell and bone marrow registry. You can do living donation.
Do you have a website, a phone number, an email that you'd like to share?
Yes,
Just
we
because this
sure
is on the
do.
public record?
Absolutely.
Little
So,
marketing.
It's www.chrisklugfoundation.org. Our office number is 970-710-2626. And our email is info@chrisklugfoundation.org.
All right. And how, I guess, I don't know how to phrase this question. How needed or how short is the organ donation system?
There's currently 103,000 people waiting in the country for a life-saving organ transplant. There's about 450,000 people waiting for a life-changing tissue transplant. So that's things like bone marrow, nerves, skin, all that kind of thing. And currently, 97% of the country say they agree with donation. Only 44% take the step to register. And then of that 44%, only 1 in 3 people will pass in a way that allows them to become a donor. So it's a really small pool of donors. We're really big.
About every 8 minutes, someone is added to the transplant list, and 13
people pass
die
every day waiting for a transplant.
And those are the ones that make it onto the transplant list. You know, there's people that are too sick to make it onto the list, or they get taken off, things like that.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? All right. Would someone like to make a motion?
I make a motion to approve resolution number 9, series 2026, as presented.
I'll second.
Everybody wants a second.
Somebody else.
Yay.
All right. Motion by trustee Seifert to approve resolution number 9, series 2026. And I'm going to give the second to trustee Engelhardt. All is in favor?
Aye.
All is opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much for joining us
Thank
here
you.
tonight.
Swag, nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next up is the January 2026 financial and balance sheet. I'll turn this over to Finance Director Tucker.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So January has passed. That means 8% of the year has gone by already. We are doing well with our revenues as far as sales tax, use tax, our trash service, water service, wastewater service, and our irrigation fees were right in line with what the percentage of the year has gone by. Sales tax, it's 8% of what we had anticipated that we were going to get. It is 3%, around 3% lower than what we got last year at this time. But I can tell you February is ahead of what we got in February of last year. So we should even out soon. And Jim would like to point out that when we're low in sales tax, it's Amy's fault. But when you're ahead in sales tax, it's Jim's praise that needs to happen. So I'll answer any questions you might have.
That's
Not
management.
much to talk about this early in the year.
pretty much.
Yeah, not much to talk about. Yeah, like you said, 8%.
We don't have, Amy, do you want to touch on the revenues from the tobacco tax at all?
I certainly can. The last time I verified, I have not verified as of today. We have one vendor in town that still has not put that into effect, but we have received 3 checks for cigarette tax in February, which I'll report on for the month of January, and we're at about $22,000 right now for what we've received for cigarette tax.
Okay. And so since we have more than 2 vendors that collect the tobacco tax, we'll actually get that as a line item on our reports?
It will be in the financials. I can actually add it to this cash flow report to where it's easier for you to see
Okay. 'Cause I know,
if you'd like that.
I know in the past we couldn't do marijuana taxes because we had 2 businesses and they could potentially figure out who was.
Right. We have 7 vendors that sell tobacco in town.
Okay.
So it would be pretty hard to figure out what was coming from where.
One more. Okay.
Perfect.
Have you gotten any negative feedback from any of the vendors?
Well, one vendor that would like to know exactly where we're spending that money when we spend it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
Well, he can attend the meetings.
Well, and it's a broad range of things that we're planning on spending this money on. So it would be hard for me to say, of the $2,000 you gave me in January, this much went to parks, or this much went to special events, or this much went to, all the other things that were listed in the ballot question.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other questions for Finance Director?
Nope.
Okay. Next up is manager and staff comments.
I will just emphasize that as of last Tuesday, we started the startup of the water treatment plant, pushing water through the plant itself. Over the course of last week and this week, they'll be optimizing the process, at which time, when they conclude that, we'll start pushing treated water into the distribution system for the new plant, at which time we start decommissioning the old plant, which is where the last piece of our treating process will occur, which is the UV treatment disinfectant process. Our goal at this point is that on April 8th, we will have the ribbon cutting ceremony for the fully commissioned plant.
Okay.
Full of pomp and circumstance.
My birthday party.
Yes.
Can you touch on the pedestrian bridge project a little bit from here?
We submitted our grant application today for $24 million. Last year, through the build program, we were a project of merit, but because of a lack of funds, we did not get funded. They changed some of the metrics this year for the cost-benefit analysis, and which reduced some of our metrics, but everyone's going to be in the same boat. Their metrics are going to go down because it's an across-the-board thing. We're hopeful that we will get funded this year, but there are risks associated with that because we are on the wrong end of the political spectrum for the current administration, and we have a governor that keeps poking the eye of the president, and hopefully there is not any retaliation for that.
Okay. All right. Any other staff members want to report on anything?
Just made the comment about the surveys. We'll try to continue and then mix up the time frame. Obviously, the morning time commute time frame is a big deal, so we'll try to do something on the back end of the evening times.
Okay. All right.
That's all I got.
I just wanted to remind everybody of the State of the Community luncheon tomorrow. You all have a seat waiting for you, those who can show up.
Question, and I was asked, is there gonna be, when the new water plant is up and running 100%, is there gonna be a newsletter or any information goes to the people so they know it's all operational? I mean,
We
just
will,
ask.
we will also hold, aside from the ribbon cutting that is tentatively scheduled for April 8th, we will also pick a Saturday to have an open house. And let the community know
Okay,
and bring the community in and tour them and explain the process and everything we went to get there. And they can see the plant. They can see what they paid $28 million for.
Okay, that's what they ask, so, okay.
Okay.
I'll just tell them it's forthcoming.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions for staff members before we jump into board comments?
I have a question,
Okay.
but I don't know if Nicole is here. And
I
am. I noticed on the new duplex, lot there, their locate's done, and on the water line, it looks like it goes from the 1 meter and curb stop, and it splits off to 2, and I think the current code is as long as it's the same owner, you could use the 1 tap, but is that something that we need to look at in the code to change that to, even though it's a duplex, that the duplex should have individual water services? I mean, is that something that I feel maybe we should look at in the future? Just because, another tap would mean more revenue. And, if the same owner owns it, it's fine. But if that owner someday decides to subdivide that thing, it could get messy because you have 1 service line for both halves of the duplex.
Yes, they did pay for 2 tap fees and they're supposed to have individual services going to each.
Oh,
They
okay.
have not called for an inspection yet, but I will get with them and make sure that they have 2 individual taps going.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it gets charged out as a tap fee for each.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
unit
still,
is always,
okay.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I agree, we need to make sure they're individual, so if customer A doesn't pay their bill and we shut the meter off, it doesn't shut off
Yeah.
both, but yeah. But yeah, we should also, every residence like that should pay their own tap fees, whether it's a duplex, a triplex, a
Yeah,
apartment building.
I agree. I just wanted some clarification.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for staff before we move on to board comments? Okay, board comments, we'll start with Chris.
I mean, I guess, yeah, questions for staff, board comments are
Board
kind of
comments
the
are the
same
same
thing.
Okay.
And I think, and I know we're going to have a code rewrite of chapter 16 and 17, but I kind of feel we need to have a conversation again about, square footage and, housing size, lot size, what's allowed, what's not allowed. I just don't want to get too much time go by before we have another discussion about that.
That will all be part of that
Yeah.
discussion.
Yes, and I'm sure it's coming,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to mention that. And didn't we have a new, I'm not going to say code enforcement person, but didn't we have a new hire that was going to kind of learn some of that? And I just wondering how that was going.
It is going. I'll leave that to Nicole to talk about, since that person is in her department.
Okay.
Yes, our new hire for code enforcement has been, the last couple weeks has been working diligently on code enforcement and issued a stop work order today for construction that was taking place without a permit, as well as addressing several trash, junk, and rubbish complaints, but we've been doing everything on a complaint basis still. But she has been keeping up with all the complaints that are coming in.
No, good, nice. Thank you for that. And the only other question I had is on A Street, there's a refrigerator sitting in the alley, and I think the guy moved it out there when they were rebuilding A Street to try to get somebody else to remove it, but it's a hazard. I mean, I know it says don't enter on the thing, but is there any way we can get somebody out there to ask that person to remove their dead fridge?
We'll put it on our list.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have been contacted and have received a letter for code enforcement as well.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, just because we don't want some little kid getting in the thing, for sure. And I guess, I thank you for town staff for everything you've done. I appreciate it, and those are all my comments.
All right.
Where are we at with the crosswalk being moved in front of the liquor store and the pizza place, moving it down this way?
Moving it to 8th Street?
Yeah.
We haven't gotten any further on that at this point.
The other day again, I was coming around there and somebody just about got just a blind spot coming from the north. They come around there and boy, they step out. It's kind of a blind spot. Somebody's going to get hit one of these days. So I just was curious where we were at with it.
Yeah, there's a broader discussion that I think we're going to have regarding not just the crosswalk, but the entire access control plan. Because the plan as it was adopted in 2006, 9, is causing us some grief with certain development activities.
Okay, that's all I got.
Okay.
Nothing from me.
Nothing?
Yeah, just one. I think, this recent snowfall has been great, but I think it's a lot of communities, especially in our area, are starting to discuss drought concerns and where the snowpack level is currently. And I don't know if those discussions are being had. I know a neighbor did ask me, what does that mean for our irrigation? Is there any concern? What could that potentially translate to if there wasn't enough? Because they mentioned, right, the bill they pay monthly there. And so I just didn't have that information and kind of wanted to check in with staff. One, on the drought side, and then two, how that translates into irrigation or other impacts in the town. So I have that information to communicate out.
The periodic mayor's meeting, the next meeting is going to spend some time talking about water resources, simply because we'll know a little bit more as we get towards that, whether the weather pattern shifts and we actually do some catch up. Some of that is going to be key to what happens between now and the end of the snow season. In terms of the water irrigation, what's going to happen is we probably will have more restricted water uses. We'll have to maintain that and, work with what we have. And Director Lundin can chime in, but I believe most of our irrigation water rights are pretty senior.
Yes, they are.
Great. No, I think that's helpful to, restrictions could come into play if it gets severe, just to know, again, how to share that out.
Just to give you a heads up, at our water board meeting last week, Harvey Rifle Gap's probably going to start 8 feet low. Record lowest ever in history. Harvey will get full. We'll have that full in about 2 weeks. The Rifle Gap's probably going to be about 8 feet low. That's start. That's going to be the lowest ever in history unless we get some rain. So the farmers probably going to get one good fill out of Harvey Gap, and we had they were there talking about Green Mountain and everything. Our options. It's not looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was by Green Mountain a month ago, and that thing is
We had
empty.
Yeah,
It's
the
like a-
engineer
it's like
there,
a
Chris
puddle.
Monero, was there and stuff. We were talking about the Green Mountain and all that, and like I said, it's snowpack is decent, but the trouble is we're not going to have some real hot days for it to run off, it's gonna just slow, it's gonna melt in. And that's our runoff. Rifle Creek is not increasing at all, it's just warm enough that it's just soaking in, and there's gonna be no runoff at all hardly, so yeah, it's gonna be a tough year. Well, if you've seen, Dillon isn't even gonna open the boat this year, it was on TV, they're not even gonna open up the ramps. That's gonna be their lowest in history too, so. Depends on what happens in the next couple of months.
60 days.
Yes.
And when you consider where we are, it's not inches of snow, it's feet.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, I just thought, like I say, I'm on the water board, and that's was our discussion last week, so. Bleak is the word for it.
I was gonna say I should think of something positive after that, but I don't really have anything.
Just want to thank Director Lundeen and his staff for the work they've been doing up by the horseshoe pits. The new shelter was great. We did have our inaugural first ever sanctioned Colorado State Horseshoe Pitching Association tournament week ago Sunday, and had 4 classes of pitchers. Had a total of 19 people participate. We had a few more that were scheduled to that weren't able to make it because of health things and different stuff, sick time of year. But to have that many people in the middle of, in the first part of February, middle of February, throwing horseshoes outside is kind of cool and almost cold sometimes. But it was a lot of fun, and learned a lot about how to do the tournaments better in the future. And we're looking at having some bigger ones that might be bringing us people in from other parts of the state in addition to just the local pitchers. And because of the number of pits we have, would require some of those to be like maybe 2-day events, like a Saturday, Sunday, or a longer day, Saturday. So then it would hopefully maybe get some business for the motels and other things in the area as well, because people come in and stay overnight and then play. So it was a lot of fun.
Very nice.
Nice, yeah.
Anyone else from the town of Silt play besides you?
Not from the town.
Okay.
Well,
citizens of the town,
yeah,
yeah.
citizens of the town. Of the pitchers, we had one from Gypsum, one from Kremling, or not Kremling, from Hot Sulphur Springs, one from Cotopaxi, which is by Colorado Springs, I guess.
Oh, wow.
And then everybody else was Newcastle or Silt, pretty much. The winners, we had A class was Dan Jenkins, who is from Newcastle. B class was this guy named Justin Britnell. He did okay. Won a playoff. It was pretty intense.
Rigged.
And then C class was Charlie Taylor, who lives here in Silt, one of the big people, throws a lot. He's a big proponent of the horseshoe pitch community. And then Stan Callies won D class, so, and he's from here in Silt as well. So
Nice.
it was kind of fun. It's a good time.
It's awesome that it brought people in from outside of Silt, even past Newcastle. Yep. So that's awesome. The only thing I've got, love having citizens come in and talk to us. And I just want to address one of the comments that was made about us trying to hide the meetings. Board of Trustees meeting every second and fourth Monday of the month. We don't schedule them a week out. They are scheduled through the entire year, the second and fourth Monday of the month. Board of Trustees is the first Tuesday, or Planning and Zoning, first Tuesday of every month.
Following the first Monday.
Following the first Monday, the first Tuesday. We have an email list that you can be part of as a citizen to get the agenda emailed to you prior to the meeting. It's on our website. Every date through the end of the year is on the website if you'd like it. We have a calendar here in the Board of Chambers if you'd like to take a picture of it and have all those dates. Most important thing, I think, is if you have a question about something, you call and ask. So we're not trying to hide our meeting dates. They're posted there. I would love to see 500 people in this room at every meeting. So I welcome everybody to come down. And that's all I've got today. So next item on the agenda is adjournment.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Seifert to adjourn the meeting, seconded by Trustee Clausen. All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All's opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, everybody.